In the beginning, Faust created the heavens and the earth, and Equestria with these little horse thingies. And all was peaceful in the world. And then a website called 4chan got its little gremlin hands on it, and pictures of ponies flooded the metaphorical airwaves. Ironically or unironically will never actually be determined, but it got so bad that the moderators had to ban users from pony posting just so that everyone else could get some goddamn peace and quiet. So these newly minted bronies decided, fine, we'll make our own community.
With blackjack and hookers!
And they did.
Approved.
2011 began as the year of the horse. Not actually though, because the year of the horse technically wasn't until 2014. And this funny little pony-related website was created by this person. You may not have heard of it though, because it kind of flew under the radar. March rolled around and this person started making Eurobeat remixes of music from the show. I'm sure this will not set off a trend of horse music for decades to come. Speaking of trending horse-related content for decades to come, and wouldn't you know it, writing about equines started to become really enticing. But what would happen if a bunch of these antisocial outcasts decided to meet up in real life? The pony takeover was well underway, and every major news network and YouTube channel wanted to take their cheap shot because, well, it was easy. Easier than right-clicking an NFT from a crypto bro. It was a simpler time back then. In fact, it was so popular to hate on horse that when the internet reacted to them, they reacted back. And everything was totally okay, and it didn't cement the world's hatred for bronies for years to come or anything. Oh, well that sounded important. And this is also important.
Careful, Derpy! I just don't know what went wrong!
Because that means the rulers of horse recognizes the brony delegation. Just don't let the delegation go on a filibuster about best pony, unless you want to break the long-standing congressional record of 24 hours and 18 minutes. Then things went crazy, mostly after this happened. And the fandom popped off. So much music, art, memes, parodies, and loving and tolerating the fuck out of people that BronyCon literally exploded.
What a dramatic and calm. Things are going to be fun.
Even made a whole freaking episode that wasn't an episode, but wasn't. Even celebrities got in on the action, with fans attempting to play detective to decipher whether or not their cryptic photos meant that they were one of them. After all, it was trendy, and all publicity is good publicity. Unfortunately, all good things must come to an end, and thus, the brony fandom died. Except, oh wait, no it didn't. Around this time, fans really started thinking about the show, which leads to the rise of the brony reviewer, which is kind of like the fandom equivalent to the Greek philosophers of old, except with way more drama and way more getting canceled on Twitter. Brony has gone super critical. A deluge of DeviantArt seas engulfs the interwebs. Creativity and community is at an all-time high. Nerd is finally starting to become cool. Nothing can stop the horse supremacy from... Oh, the fandom died again.
Sadly, yes. But I lived.
Despite Hasbro's best efforts anyway, brony content creators are hit with more C's and D's than my college finals. It is an era of volatility, yet the show must go on. After all, there is money to be made. Season 4 ends in May of 2014 and injects a new spark of energy. I mean, what else do you want to call this?
This some serious gourmet shit.
The pony train kept on rolling.
Get it on the floor, get it on the floor.
Seasons came and went like the rise and fall of historical empires. Conventions spread like wildfire across the globe. The fandom and the creators crept even closer to becoming a singularity. That fact became clear in June 2015 with the airing of the 100th episode. As time went on, bronies became less of a meme fad. Growth slowed as more casual fans left the community, but that just meant only the diehards were left. The ones in it for the long haul, or the ones who had so much of their identity forged by this fandom during their formative years that they couldn't possibly leave. Either way, the stubborn bunch of horse nerds refused to die. New fans still saw a thriving collective, especially when this happened. The herd was in steady state, with plenty of content creators keeping the flame glowing. Sure, it wasn't exactly the golden years, but no one is expecting it to last this long, least of all the bronies themselves.
What the hey?
But as stated before, nothing lasts forever. BronyCon held its last convention in August 2019, the largest Brony convention in the world with an attendance of over 10,000 people over its 4-day event. Then after a 9-season run in October 2019, 9 years after it all began, the finale of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic aired. Many tears were shed, and thus, with the end of the show, the fandom also came to an end.
Bitch!
Bronies are way too stubborn, although the hiatus between G4 and G5 was incredibly arduous, especially since the whole world ended. To survive, the fandom had to subsist off of nothing but sunlight, online conventions, and this. Thankfully, in October 2021, a new generation, G5, dropped.
Finally, some good fucking food.
And the fandom saw a surge in new members to join its ranks. New content creators came out of the woodwork, and Brony veterans returned once more to add to the hype. That's right, the ride never ends. After all, this community was supposed to have died 4 or 5 times over by now. So what does the future hold for the Brony community? If I were to hypothesize, probably some with horses, I don't know, fuck.